Good morning, August 12th on a Friday morning, 9 o'clock. Good morning, August. There, I got audio confirmation. Why am I on that screen? All right. So good morning again. Where to start? Okay. Title for today, Windows 33 question and answers, replies, and YouTube nuances or nuisances. Pop out chat here. It's available and get a confirmation on audio. Okay. Type the number 7 in the chat if you're hearing me okay, please. I think some people are wondering how I pick a number. It's because when I pick a number and you put that number in, I know you're responding to that question. There's Ken Stout live with the first 7. Thank you, Tony, Rand. So we're moving along there. We've got audio. We'll come back and look at chat a little bit, but let's go catch up with yesterday's live stream. That was Windows Daily 32, question and answers and target device remediation. As I'm going through this, I'm going to show some of the YouTube nuances and nuisances. I kind of learned a little bit more about this morning. So here I'm looking at yesterday's video, and I wanted to look at the chat. Well, previously, before today, what I had been doing is go all the way up to the end so that I could see all of the chat, because it accumulates as we go through. However, I realized this morning that this 9:07 was not showing 9:07 a.m., but it was showing 9:07 minutes and seconds into the video. When I'm watching the video today, the chat, let's see, come over here to the chat. The chat is showing up as AM. It's showing my actual clock time. But when I play back the video, I didn't realize that this 9:07 was not the time of day. It was the time into the video. And I've had times where I couldn't find the chat comments that I thought were there. Well, if we come back to come back to the beginning to figure out what the first chat item is, and it was at 36 seconds from Ken Stout. So now go here to the middle, and if I scroll all the way up, do I see that 36 second? Yes, I do. So I know I can see the first half of the chat here. And then when I go to the end of this first half of chat is at 1542. So if I scroll all the way to the end, do I see the 1542? So I'll scroll all the way up in chat, and is 1542? Yes. So I can see half of the chat at a time for these short videos. On a Saturday live stream, it's going to be more increments. And we've for those of us who watch Kerry Holzman's channel, we know that he's been seeing out all along that he, like the super chats that have been more than X number of minutes ago, he can't see anymore. This makes me wonder if he were to scroll back in the DVR mode, if he has DVR mode on, would he be able to see those? I don't know. So then we'll go look at the chat comments from yesterday and see if there's anything that I need to catch up from there. I'm glancing through them. I did read through them. I always read through them after a live stream ends, but I didn't review them this morning. Oh yes, Lawn Dog, here's my experience with OneDrive. It's unreliable. I tried using it many years ago, and I tinker with it every once in a while. As we can see, it still doesn't work like it should. Absolutely correct. I agree with that 100%. It does not work the way it should. The clients that I have using OneDrive, I like having it. It does provide a very useful feature, but it's not without its glitches. Yeah, it's kind of the world we operate in, though, with computers, but it seems like it should not be that glitchy. And then when you're using OneDrive with SharePoint, it's even more complex. By the way, Doug, as you know, it takes a lot of time to do research on choosing a computer for someone, at least for me in the past, probably because I get so particular about specifications. Absolutely. When I go to order a computer for a client, the amount of time I take for it, especially when I'm ordering off of Amazon for it, because if we have very specific things that we want in the computer. I go search for these computers. Then I got to go figure out if they have all the things I want and they don't structure it the same from one Amazon listing to another. And that's a piece that makes it very convenient to custom order from HP or Dell, because I can choose this is exactly how I want it. It's typically always going to cost more. I have done a lot of refurbished computers in the past off of Amazon. So yeah, it's a head scratcher. I did put that link in the video for Catherine Anna Hausman. Now, another thing that I did in that link, and I'll show that here, is in the comments of yesterday's video, I specifically put in the @ sign and then run something's channel and @ Pineapple Road and @ Catherine Anna Hausman. Now, in the past, I have seen when other content creators do that, I get a notification or even an email, I think, from YouTube saying that you were mentioned in such and such video. And I think what it really means is that this designation was put in here. So if you're creating videos and you want to get a specific person's attention, you could put them into the description in this manner to draw their attention to that video. Lawn Dog, I've only been asked a few times by my very recurrent customers who had a lot of confidence in me to choose a computer for them that was affordable and would meet their needs and make them happy also. All of my clients turn to me for buying new computers. And I'm not real happy about the process, but I do it. I charge them a time for shopping and placing the order. I charge it to their credit card. So in that scenario, I'm charging for my time. If I'm paying for the computer myself, then it's a little more squishy as to whether I charge them for the time and take a markup on the computer. And I've had people comment before, what, you're buying at general public retail and you're marking up? Absolutely, yes. I am not a retailer. My clients know that is not my primary business. If that was my primary business and that's all I did all day, then I would be getting wholesale prices. I don't get wholesale prices. If they want to buy from me, they're going to pay for my straight time and pay for the computer off their credit card. Or on smaller items, not computers, I typically pay for it and I do a markup on it. Get over it. I run into so many people who have very low-end computers and it's like beating your head against the wall. As you know, too many computers sold by Walmart. Yep. All right, so then go to the end of the video and catch up with comments at the end. Now those comments ended somewhere around 15-minute mark. Yeah, so then catching up. Lots of 6s. The McAfee notification has a funny name attached to it. Suspect. Yeah, that was that infection warning my client was giving. Absolutely, and we talked about that funny name, and that absolutely was not from McAfee. Just for clarification, you're saying hit the reset notifications. Actually deletes the notification. If that is so, here we go again with Microsoft using extremely poor terminology. No, I disagree with that. That's a fair statement for as far as Lawn Dog had looked into it. But that was not a Microsoft. That was the Edge browser, which is based on Chromium, which is an open source, and Chromium uses that terminology, but that terminology does make sense when you look closer at what that screen is. So it looks different in Chrome. To get there in Chrome, but I'll go ahead and go there in Chrome and I'll search notifications up here. I don't like that Edge redesigned this whole interface. I would have preferred they kept it like this interface. So here's site settings. That's how we're going to get to notifications. See, it didn't even take us to notifications. In that case, Edge was superior. But here's recent activity. Sorry, I can't talk to you now. This is recent activity, and then here's permissions, and here's notifications. So if we go into the sites can ask to notifications. Sites can ask to send notifications. Pay attention to that wording. And then we go into here, and we have similar thing in here is when we go, all these items, all these sites are not allowed to send notifications. But if we go look at the details of it, it also has reset permissions. So Chrome does it the same way, but it does make sense when you realize what's going on here. What's going on here is these are customized behaviors. All websites out there, all websites have a list of default behaviors, and your browser, actually probably more to the point, your browser has default behaviors. Sites, I have chosen a default behavior on my computer. Sites can ask to send notifications. So I started describing that wrong, right? See right here, sites can ask to send notifications because that's what I have selected here. Use quieter messaging. Sites are blocked from interrupting you when they ask to send notifications. So you're not going to get asked. Don't allow sites to send notifications. So that's your default behavior, is saying no. I have it set for sites can ask. Now, these are customized behaviors, meaning for sites that I have chosen something different, something customized. So every one of these we go into direct hit. I don't even know what that is. But if I go look at the custom default, the custom settings in here, at least one of them is not going to be on default. So if I reset permissions, that means I'm changing all of these to the default. Therefore, this site is no longer has a customized behavior. So that's why resetting permissions removes it from this list. Just understand that what this list is a list of customized behaviors. To remove the customization, then it no longer is going to appear on this list. Okay. And I had to go look at that to figure it out. So there it is. Here we go again, Microsoft, terminology. Reset would mean to me set them all back to default settings. So again, that's asked and answered already. Going on, I think it's better to block set off so it won't ask again. So you could change that default setting to block everybody. Chrome has some of the same issues with adding notifications that confuse people. Yeah, they're arranged differently in the menu system, but same concept. The ding for the notification. Yeah, the ding for the notification was, on this panel, you go to manage notifications, and there was, let's see, allow notifications to play sounds right here. So if you have notifications turned on, you can allow it to play sounds. I don't want notifications coming up while I'm streaming, so this computer always has that turned off. In my last comment, the last few words he was going on, he's just explaining that there was speech recognition from somebody else in the room, but the comment still stands. Don't understand how the term is. So, asked and answered. Hopefully that helps. Now, that's all the chat from yesterday. Now, let's get on to another anomaly, or not, what I call it? Nuance. So I'm going to shorten up this. I have this description area expanded right now, so I'm going to show less, so it's shorter. And then come in here and look at this. I'm seeing 4 comments on the video. If you do the sort by default, it was set on top comments. When I came in here this morning and there was only 3. I'm sure there was another comment in here. Where is it? Sort by top comments, for some reason, hides William Dawson's comment. It's an edited comment. Did that make the difference? I don't know. Here's one. Here's one that let's see. That was Londoc about terminology. How in the world does top comments exclude that person's comment? I don't understand that. If we sort by newest first, then we get all the comments. I don't have an explanation for that. Run says, thanks for your quick response. That was Run that was the, well, it was from yesterday. Pineapple Road, in terms of my question, I actually looked at a model. The Pineapple Road was asking about the computer purchase, gave us the specifications. This explanation here was very helpful. In terms of my question, let's do the read more. I had actually looked at a model from a particular manufacturer, which I'm not going to name, cough, Surface Go 3, cough, and I'm probably about to get a load of people telling me to steer clear of it. Not me, not me. I think you're right on there, which is actually where I got the specs from. So the specs that Pineapple Road was given us was actually from that computer. And yes, I know that device is expensive considering the specs. I don't fancy explaining my reasons. That's fine. But I still want to get a dedicated device. That's acceptable. And to me. And I may end up getting a Surface Go 3 unless someone manages to persuade me otherwise. If someone wishes to offer an alternative, I would prefer something under 1,000 up to 1,500, whatever that is. That pounds, I think. And I will go back to trying to figure out what's going on with my weird error. My computer sometimes comes up when I restart it. So we don't have any detail on that, I don't think. But the Surface Go. I have told about my Surface 3 laptop without cloak and dagger. I know some people don't like Surface, but that Surface 3, it's not a Go. It's the old Surface 3. Was it 2015, I think? It has 2 gigabytes of RAM. Windows 10, it updates just fine. It works fine. It's a little slow. It's that special processor. Oh, somebody's going to put it into chat. I always forget it. Oh, I feel like I'm so close to remembering it. But it apparently gets along with lower amount of memory just fine. So I think that is something that Microsoft has been able to do with the Surface product line, since they're doing the operating system, and in that case, the hardware. Apparently, they can get the computer to go along with that. If you found the combination of things that you want in that computer, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a comparably low-end computer that has a SIM card. I'm assuming that has a SIM card, that it has that specifications for you. But yeah, there are some people here who vehemently dislike the Surface product line. I think it's just not for them. If it meets your needs, hey, you go do you. I do me, after all. Everybody knows that. People believe they can they control their computers, but I wonder if the computers control us. Are you sure that we're not living in a computer-generated world who can say either way? It's all about your point of view, which is true. You touched on a childhood memory here, William Dawson. When I was a kid, I would speculate, fantasize that the entire existence that I find myself in, since I'm the only person, all my whole life, I was the only person ever in my entire life who I knew what they were thinking and doing every moment of every day. I didn't know that about anybody else. As far as I knew, everybody else ceased to exist when I couldn't see them or hear them or smell them. They ceased to exist. Everything around me exists only for my experience life. I didn't really believe that. It was just kind of a entertaining fantasy. But I thought, how do you know? You know, what do you say? Who can say? How do I really know that that person I'm looking at has thoughts and feelings and actions all day long? Or are they just doing that stuff while I can observe them? Now, there's a little window into the nature of Doug's. Okay. That's going to get me in trouble, I know. So let's see. How much? What else did I want to do? I talked about the chat stuff. Oh, the chat also has this live chat replay and top chat replay. Sometimes the top chat is going to hide stuff. Now look here, when I do top chat, nothing's showing up. When I was at the end anyway, I don't know what that's about. These are just weird things. Let's see. I talked about referencing people in here. Are there any other nuances? That might have been the end of them. Yeah, I didn't put any detail here what I was going to be covering. Q&A replies, YouTube nuances, no emails. Talked about all the topics from yesterday. YouTube. Oh, I guess that's it. Maybe we'll be quit early today, 20 minutes. That's what I originally intended for this to be, you know. So there's, see, now at 8:31 says AM. So these were things that were coming in early. Tony Wallow, $1.99. Thank you, Tony. He says, morning, good game, LOL. And he's referring to the Fortnite game this morning. I was happy to see Josh and Ken there. And I know there was, I don't remember who else was there. So a bunch of good mornings. Somebody says, like the video, nuances, nuisances, or absurdities. Yeah. And I haven't covered all the absurdities and nuisances. Let's see. That was Lawn Dog and Da Vinci Resolved. I think that's triggering some vague memories. Can I get another piece of the puzzle? I can't pull it. I think that's chit chat, probably between him and Ken. All good. There's some orange stuff. AV good. Thank you, Catherine. And can vaguely remember that, yes, in DVR mode, you can go back to the start of chat, but that's a disability. I would like to check tomorrow during the live stream to see if I can do that and you can do that. Once we get like an hour into it, check to see if we can see the earliest chat. If we can't, then go back in DVR mode and see that we can see the earliest chat. That would be good to know. Doug, can be more of a hassle to use OneDrive because you're always going back after you're doing something and wondering if the files are in sync. No, not always doing that. Just looking down in the bottom right corner for if there's a red X down here, or right click, and if you want to look into it deeper, look up there. I'm not always wondering. I use OneDrive between many computers, and it works pretty much flawlessly for me. I do occasionally get a sync error where I have modified a document on one computer and modified it on another computer, and when they try to sync, they have a clash. It's not supposed to happen because when you're working on documents, especially Microsoft Office documents, they sync to OneDrive as you are working on them. So if I go to another computer and do something, there should be a time gap between those. However, I'm sometimes modifying the same document on Big Beast and Baby Beast. So I'll have the same document open, make a change here, make a change there. Usually it works flawless. But with SharePoint, and clients don't understand the concept of how the cloud works to begin with and understand that things synchronize, it doesn't work well, but it is, I've always been able to fix it. In order to deal without OneDrive, it's fine if we have a local server. And these clients, we do have local servers, but when people start working remotely, that's where we get into the need for using SharePoint and OneDrive. And the benefits at this point outweigh the troubles. OneDrive is not a replacement for backup. Backup still has to be done, and partly because of those troubles. DVR mode, let's see. Catherine, you ignored my comment from the video yesterday when I asked for the link of the video where the comment is for the help request. No, I didn't. I put that in right after it was over. I didn't ignore that, Catherine. I put it right in. Here's the video from yesterday. I put it right here. Here is the video where Pineapple Road asked for help finding a laptop to purchase. I did not ignore it. Video where I asked, I gave it to you. 12 in chat, 5 likes. Please hit, press it. Let's see, Chrome, looking for question marks, looking for my name, looking for orange. Personally, Doug, when a function like sort is in the software, there should be a specific manual on what the function does for clarification instead of assumption, trial, and error. As far as I know, there might be a manual. I haven't gone to look. Service 3 with the blown up battery, yay. Yeah, but it lasted for a lot of years. Catherine's, we all know, she doesn't like Surface. Oh well. Catherine, I do love you. Appreciate all your help for everybody. And I don't think that, oh geez, Pineapple Road was really going to find anything better than the Surface. I don't use OneDrive, I use 2 drives. Cheryl drives the one time who knows where everything is. I will go back and find it. Oh, she acknowledged that. Thank you, Catherine. Atom processors, V, finally, yes, that's what the service has, is an off Atom processor. That's a different processor. Apparently, it gets along with lower memory and performs better than any other processor is going to perform with that low of memory. Geez, I tell you, I routinely would forget how much memory that computer has. When I go back and look, I'm stunned that it has 2 gigabytes of memory. Another thing that's nice about OneDrive is I have a massive quantity of files in my OneDrive, but that Surface 3 with its small drive space, I can access any of those files. And it's almost an instant download. I don't even see it downloading. I just go to open the file and it downloads from the internet. So I have access to that massive amount of data, way more than the drive size of that computer, and I get those files. If you have specific usage needs, where OneDrive can be a solution, it's a good solution. It doesn't work as well as I want it to, or as well as it should, but it does work. Okay, I think that wraps it up for today. Usual time tomorrow, which is 11 a.m. Pacific time for those who don't know. And in the Saturday streams, we spend a lot more time, a lot more interaction. You can come in on Zoom if you want to. What is worse, a Surface or a HP? Yeah, that's a personal perspective. Depends upon your personal experience with an individual computer. You're going to call one worse than the other. I've never met a computer that I didn't have something to complain about, including Big Beast Build. All right, that's it for now. Thank you, everybody. There's my email address. If you want the credentials to come into the Zoom session, you can send an email to that address. Yeah, of course, I think they already know, but the people who've been blocked from my channel, I'm not going to respond to. That's it for today. So I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.